channel, Sharpe Designs by Lakeisha, where I'm designing my way through life and inspiring you to do the same. So if you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the designer family, and make sure you hit that post notification bell so that you are notified every single time I do an upload and you are not tardy to the party. So on today's vlog, I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough tutorial for you guys on how I made the dessert cart that I used for Dakota's 3rd birthday special, which was posted at the end of March. If you have not seen that, please go ahead and check that vlog out. My baby girl is 3 and I had so much fun planning her party. It did not go as expected, so we had to do it quarantine style, but it came out perfect and she absolutely loved it. You can hear her in the background. But today I'm just gonna do like a really quick walkthrough on how I actually made the dessert cart. I was about to move it into the garage and I was like, well, hold up, wait a minute, let me do this for them before they be going off on me in the comments about the dessert cart, because I had quite a few DMs from you guys, which are bagged all the way up on Instagram. I have to take a day and like kind of go through those and answer some questions that I have at some point. But I did want to go ahead and do this because I did see a lot of mentions of the dessert cart that I made. So originally my plan was to actually rent one. I found a company here in Atlanta that I was going to get quite a few of my rentals from for her party. I told you guys on her birthday vlog I was going to transform my home into this Fiesta situation, streamers and balloons everywhere. I was going to rent a lot of furniture pieces and things like that for the house just to tie everything together, but it didn't work out. So I had to improvise because they were saying that I could still rent the items, but there would be no refund. They didn't mention a credit or anything, so I was like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen the next week. So to be safe, I just did what I could. So as you guys also know, we are also in the process of transitioning to Seattle. My husband is already there for work as he got a promotion. I told you guys that quite a few vlogs back. So me and Coda have still been here and he's been coming back and forth, and we've just all been flying back and forth. So we've been decluttering the house just to kind of prepare for if or when we're gonna make that move. So Dakota had a nursery changing table that was in her nursery, and it's actually just this bottom half here. You can see the shelving situation on it, and I was about to actually get rid of it. And then when I realized that I was not gonna be able to actually rent the dessert cart that I wanted, which was the whole look for what I wanted to do this year, I thought maybe I can transform this into a dessert cart. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy this, although it did provide all the structure that I needed to make sure it wasn't gonna collapse on me, but you are gonna need some type of set base. Making all this noise, you wanna say hi? Hi. Say hi. Hi. All right, let mommy finish vlogging. So, what you are gonna want to have is a steady base. So if you don't have a changing table, you can also just get 4 table legs and then get a piece of wood to go across the top. So what you're gonna need to actually do the dessert cart is you're gonna need a base. I use this changing table for my base. It had the 4 legs in the top part. That was the main structure that you're gonna need for your dessert cart when you make it. Then I also purchased a wheel, which was this wheel here, and I will link this in the description box for you. It was originally a wooden wheel, but I spray painted the front of it white and made the center gold. I like that. Yeah, it's your changing cart. So yeah, you're gonna need a wheel. If you wanna do 2 wheels, you can do 2, but I just did 1 because this was a really quick DIY project and I knew I was gonna have one side covered with balloons anyway. Then you're gonna have to build some type of structure to hold up this top piece here. So these are just simply some legs that were literally like $1 and some change at Home Depot. I will link, if I can find them online, I'll link them in the description box, but I also include a picture of them over on this side so that you guys can see in the store what I'm talking about. I painted them white, but they're originally a wood color. And then for this top piece, as well as the piece that you saw on the front of here, which was made out of foam board. Y'all know I use foam board for a lot of things. This was a huge sheet that I like to buy from Hobby Lobby. It's normally like $6, and I normally buy them when they are on sale for 40% off, or I'll use my 40% off coupon and buy them. But this piece is, it only has the size, I might have cut that part off, but the price is here. Yeah, they're $5.99. And as you can see, there's a ton of hot glue on the back, and that's just how I attached it on here. All right, so before I did anything with the dessert cart, as I said, it originally started off as just the changing table. I wanted to make sure that I was actually gonna be able to get this put together. So we went to Home Depot and purchased these wood pieces here. We got 4 of them. And then I also got a piece of wood to put across the top, because as I mentioned, this was a changing table. So this piece under here was just open to that. And so what I did was I got a piece of wood from Home Depot, which I will also show you guys on the side here. And we basically drilled it, hubby drilled it to the part like this here that's going across on the side. He just drilled it. You can see the nail here. Did 1 nail here to hold it down on this side. And that was pretty much it. It was able to just go across the side here just fine. And this was a pretty thick piece of wood. And then he did 2 screws from the bottom and had the screws come up through the top. He drilled it in, and then he just simply screwed. So if I wanted to unscrew these, I could, as you can see. Maybe I can try to take one off for you guys. You can also cut this end piece off, but I wanted to leave it hanging kind of as like an extra, you know, just for extra space in case all the desserts didn't fit on that part. You can also have Home Depot, they cut this piece of wood for me. I measured this before we went to the store, but you can also have them cut this piece off if you want it to be an exact measurement, or you can leave it hanging over, which is what I did, just so I can have kind of like just some extra space. Once we had that standing, I was like, okay, it's actually starting to look like something. So then that's when I took my foam board square, which you see here. And this is a huge piece of foam board that I typically get from Hobby Lobby. And I put it up towards the dessert cart. And once I had it up there, I hot glued it. All this hot glue on the back, it just took a lot of hot glue, because I knew this wasn't gonna be for everything. I'll probably still give this dessert cart away, so I didn't want to damage it too much. So then we just took I took the hot glue and hot glued this to where I wanted it. And then I had my wheel over here, which I spray painted white, which was originally wood. I will link all this stuff in the description box for you guys. And I simply put the wheel up to this. I traced it out to where it was gonna go. And then I took an X-Acto knife and I sliced that corner of the foam board off, which made a perfect fit for the wheel to just kind of slide there. And then if you want 2 wheels, you can do the same thing on that side, but this wasn't like a permanent thing for me. This was just like a really quick DIY project. Now for the extra signage that I did, on the front, this is just another piece of the foam board that I cut out, and then I adhered this to it. I did order this signage off of Etsy in gold. It just says desserts. It was super cute. I probably paid like maybe 15 bucks for it. But I ordered this off of Etsy. If you have a Cricut machine, you can DIY this signage yourself. I have one, and I've had one, this is probably year 3 to work, because he got it for my birthday. So if I don't use it by September, it has been 3 years that I've had it and I've never used it. It just seems so intimidating. But I definitely want to learn how to use it, because it can definitely come in handy when you're in the business of DIY. So I just hot glued this extra piece of foam board onto this foam board, and then I adhered this onto this smaller piece before. And then I adhered this piece onto the board afterwards. For the top, what? I can't pick you up, poo-poo. And then for this top piece here, if you guys remember when I showed you guys how to do the balloon mosaic, the number 2, how I just kind of split the board. So if you guys remember when we did the balloon mosaics and we were scoring the sides of it, where we were splitting the foam board without going all the way through. That's exactly what I did here. So the foam board is cut through but not all the way, which allows you to get it to bend. And so that was the first thing I did, and which held it like the V that I wanted it to do in order to go over the top of it. All right, so once I actually figured out, you know, the top piece, which was, you know, went over the top like so, the issue was now for me like, okay, I put this board up here on top of my 4 spindles, but every time I did it, it wouldn't stay up. It was just collapsing back down flat. So then I had to go on YouTube. Me and Babe were on YouTube, and he actually came across another YouTuber that I follow that does DIY, because, you know, believe it or not, sometimes I do the same thing that you guys do when you're searching how to do stuff. You go through YouTube, you go through Google, and just start looking up ideas and Pinterest. And so I came across the Tara Perez project, and she had actually did a full from beginning to end dessert cart. And so my husband was like, oh, I seen this one video where you use a piece of ribbon or string or something, and he was telling me how to do it. And I was like, where did you get this from? And he was like, I found this video. I'm like, oh, I follow her. So yeah, so he reminded me of that idea. So that's what I did to hold this part up, and I will link her blog down below for you guys to check out. For anybody who does not have a leftover changing table, or you struggling with how to make a base. Once I used that little trick that I saw on there, I just plopped it up top and positioned it how I want it, and it just goes on that easy. Oh, and if you're looking at, I just realized it. This piece back here, when you're buying these legs to put on the top, make sure you get one that's straight. I accidentally bought one that was bold, and my husband had already put it on there before. I was like, hey, why is that one the only one that's like going that way? So if you can see, it's not straight back like this one is straight back. This one is kind of awkward. So just make sure you get one that's straight up. Something made this wood piece back there, but whatever. This piece here, I just used foam board to fill in gaps. Like this piece here, the back of the cart was still showing, and I didn't like how that was looking. This has come down now, guys. But originally, this was up, and then this was the only part that still looked like the changing table. So I cut out a piece of the foam board and just kind of slid it back there to hide that piece. And then, yeah, it was all done, guys. It was just simple, really simple to do. It happened so fast, I didn't even have time to vlog it. And really super fun, easy idea for you if you're doing an easy at-home party and you have something that you can use for your base. Go ahead and knock that thing out. But then for the balloons for the dessert cart, you guys notice I took a piece off the top because I knew this wasn't completely all wood structure. Even though the balloons aren't heavy, I didn't want them to put extra weight on the top of this, because as you guys saw, this was just some simple foam board and some ribbon holding it together. So I actually used, if you guys have seen my organic balloon column tutorial, I actually did that for my balloon garland. You can see through back here, this piece here is actually one piece, and it's standing up on one of my my poles that I use for that. And instead of using all 11-inch balloons, it's messed up now because I've taken some of the clusters out, which is why it has gaps in it. And again, keep in mind that this was done March 29th. Today is April 17th. So, or I actually made this like March 25th, and today is April 17th. So this is definitely old now. Some of the balloons are starting to deflate, but they are still in really good condition. So for the first portion of my balloon garland, I did the poles up to the height of my dessert cart. And then I put the balloons on there, different sizes. This is my first time doing it. I didn't just use 11 inches. I did a combination of 11 and 16 inches balloons blown up in different sizes, and just organically just placed them on there. And then I took some fillers the same way I did in my organic balloon column tutorial, and just kind of played with them and put these in there just to give it a little bit more texture and dimension. And that's how this actually came about. And then once I had the column done on the side of it, it's a little messed up now, guys, keep that in mind. Once I had the column on the side of it, I also wanted balloons to go across the top here. So I did a separate piece here and put this one up top and position it. I don't think it's gonna do right as perfect as it did for her party, but that's all I did was just make a separate piece that sat up above there. And keep in mind it was a lot more full and had some more clusters in it. You haven't seen her birthday vlog. This was a lot prettier then. I took a lot of the clusters off of this already to use for my last vlog. Some of the gold ones that were up here, so it's not as pretty as it was on the day of her actual party. So definitely go back and check out the vlog so you can get the full look. But it was a lot more and it looked connected and nice and full, and the desserts were under here. But that's pretty much how I did it, guys. That way this didn't have all this weight coming off the side of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next vlog. Bye. Bye. You wanna say bye, Stink? Come on.